Good morning. I'm talking about prayer in the public school. Should prayer be added back into public school systems? I personally believe that prayer should be added back into the school system. According to Billy Graham, 80% of the American people want Bible readings and prayer in the schools. Why should the majority be so severely penalized by the protest of a handful? Many people agree with Graham in saying that prayer should be added back into the school systems. School is a public place, and by bringing prayer back, it may change people's lives. School is a public place, and sometimes the only place for kids to get away from their home life. Prayer should be allowed in a public place. School systems are public for a reason. If students wanted to go to a private school where everything is more uniformly done, then I'm sure they would. In the United States Constitution, the First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, freedom of speech, press, or the right to assemble and petition. According to a recent study conducted by David Barton, America's school systems have experienced a radical decline in 4 areas which children's prayer is touched upon. Those include youth, family, education, importantly, and national life. If people are against prayer in school, they can simply present a valid argument to the officials to take their stand. Otherwise, they can compromise with the parents who want their kids to experience prayer in school and learn more about it if they choose to do so. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. No one person will be singled out. All religious prayer will be offered. This shows that in the United States that Hinduism is the most practiced religion. No one specific religion will be taught or practiced in the process of prayer. Every person will be offered the right to religious freedom. People could also have the choice of practicing it. If it was added back into the school system, so you didn't want to practice it, you could take a different class or be placed in a certain room during the time period that it takes place. A compromise should be made where both sides of the argument gets what they want. Kids should be allowed to pray freely, but only if they choose to do so. There are approximately 313 religions practiced in the United States. Whatever a kid knows was taught to him by an adult or another child. Some parents may teach their kids to pray, others may not. Schools may be the only place that kids can learn the word. Their parents may not believe to teach them in that manner or to raise them going to church. Students usually act the way that they are treated at home. If a kid generally has bad manners or vulgar language, they may not be taught any different at home. This is where the process of educators comes into play with the teaching of properness. The students that are raised in a Christian home could give off examples to kids that aren't raised in a Christian home about what it is like to be religious and to pray. Out of 100 students, only 45 claim to pray daily. I personally think that if something in the school systems were done about prayer, the number of students who would pray daily would decrease dramatically. This shows that from childhood religion to their current religion, that unaffiliated has went up to 2.3 to 16.1. And that when they were a kid, 53.9% of children believed, and then now when they're current, 51.3. Just think for a minute about all these things. Some of us realize that something has to be done in the school system or the Word of God will be completely diminished by teenagers today. Whether or not everyone agrees with the statements about prayer being back into public schools, they should at least consider it. School is a public place, and all religions could be taught, and it gives an opportunity for kids who don't learn this at home a chance to learn about it. I challenge you to take this poll and to tell someone about prayer within students, sign a petition, or even read an article about this topic. So what is your opinion on this ongoing debate? Voice your opinion now at the link below and do something about this argument. Thank you.